Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Talking Fantasy Baseball podcast. I'm your host, Erik Henriksen, and with me today, once again, is singular. It's Anthony Shabazz. Anthony, how you doing?
Doing good. Let's have at it.
We are
Back from the
missing
break.
JD. We were off last week. None of us could kind of make it to do it. We had very busy personal lives. A lot of things going on. At work, in our personal lives. Like I said, couldn't make the podcast last week. So thank you for your patience. It was our all-star break, but now we are back again. And still just missing 1/3 of us, but he shall return next week. He's working a special assignment is what I hear. So he's on work sabbatical, I believe. All right. So before we get underway here, Anthony and I were talking before the show. Anthony's going to take a trip out to Los Angeles. And I told Anthony that he needs to go to Howlin' Ray's. If you don't know what Howlin' Ray's is the best fried chicken joint you'll ever have. And Anthony said better than Roscoe's Chicken.
No, not the fried chicken part. The fact that you brought up the waffles and said like they're definitely better than Roscoe's. But you said 100%. 100%. It wasn't even a conversation. Can't be 100%.
No, it can be 100%.
It can't. Not the waffles.
Wait till you have it. So I'm curious, everyone out there, comment on the video, shoot us a message through YouTube, however you can do it. Hit us up on social media. What is your favorite, like, baseball park food? We'll put it in the context of baseball. This is the Talking Fantasy Baseball podcast because I will tell you this right now. It's not better than Howlin' Ray's, period. But yeah, so you're going to, I know, enjoy your trip. So that is not coming up for a little bit, but a couple months. That's why you got the SC hat on right now. And also shouts out to AZ Fudd for winning the WNBA 3-point contest.
At least she can do.
She is the first rookie to ever win it.
You know what? She had to win it because what Olivia is doing right now is making her situation so rough. She's like, I need to do something.
But she's playing with her bestie.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm just saying right now what Olivia is doing is nasty around the league. And that's a hard position to be in as a number one pick. We see that with like Greg Oden and who else that we kept talking about it recently. I can't remember, but that's probably the most one I can remember easy with KD. Like you get that person come behind you and they're balling and you're not.
Yeah, well, look, here's the thing. We don't normally talk other sports on the Talking Fantasy Baseball podcast. We normally don't even just talk regular baseball. We just talk fantasy baseball. But big sports news today. LeBron James signing with the 76ers is one of the most disgraceful things I've ever seen in sports. If you don't know already, there's two things in basketball I don't like. First and foremost, a distant number one are the Knicks.
Distant, no.
And number two, light years ahead of number three, which I can't even think of at the moment. It's probably Boston Celtics fans. But number two is LeBron James, because everything, everywhere, including this podcast, needed to be made about LeBron James. And he signed with the Philadelphia 76ers, ring chaser Boo.
I would have liked for him to go home. Yes. But granted, that's a me decision, not a him decision. Like, look, I think LeBron's great, right? Like people can't deny how great he is at basketball. But historically, when we look at how we treat players, I do think this might hurt him a little bit. Like, even if it doesn't, in like the grand scheme, like 10 years from now, people don't remember it. The people who don't like him, like yourself, you'll always remember it. You always be like, hey, you left a Lakers team with Luka that went over, and I'm a Lakers fan, so I'm obviously a little biased here, but when they shifted their focus to Luka, you were like, I'm kind of good on it. And I'm going to go somewhere where I'm going to get more appreciated. So, like, on one hand, I understand, like, he can do whatever he wants. Like, he's the poster child for that. I do what I want.
Yeah.
But I do think like if you're gonna criticize, either they're not a championship team, if you're gonna criticize KD, we criticize KD hard.
Oh
We
yeah.
criticize Bron hard,
Yep.
but KD's was like different. I think you're gonna look at him and be like, oh, like well, he had Embiid, Edgecombe, Young, Maxi, JB. That's a lot. You know what I mean? I agree. He's 41. So I think anything with him right now is house money. He can't go backwards that much. Like, well, maybe with this a little bit, but he can't go that much backwards. Like if he wins the championship, it'll be great for him. If they lose, it's all good. He's still Braun. But
You know what's crazy? We get nothing like this in baseball. Nothing. Where because the contracts, guys try and sign these like longest term contracts ever to where they're there until their children go to college, basically.
right,
So
right.
it's kind of wild to me in basketball in general. You get guys, with 5-year contract max, right?
Mhm.
4 years for leaving a team. In baseball, it's not like that at all. You don't have guys just jumping around, really ring chasing at all. It's
Right.
kind of crazy how different the sports are in that way. Yeah. So,
I think because of the money. Like the money
oh,
is like
100%.
set up in a sense like you really can't do that. And also, I don't think baseball players are as important to winning as basketball players are. You know what I mean? Like you have
Yeah.
9 people in the field in defense. Like it's so much stuff you can't control. Like you can go out there hit 3 home runs, and your pitcher gave up 4, and you're just sitting there like there's nothing you can do. So I don't really think we're gonna have people like chasing unless you go to a team that's already stacked like the Dodgers and people like Kyle's. They didn't say he was chasing, but it's like,
Mm,
oh, here you go, signing with the big bad. But with basketball, it's a little easier to see that. And this is what the leagues want. They want a bunch of moving around. They want people to kind of join up and check for agency because it brings some type of excitement. Like now, look at Bron's jersey sold out immediately with Philly.
That's
It's like
ridiculous. Ridiculous.
so
But you know where all those fans are from. Those fans just follow him around. Those
right.
probably aren't true 76ers fans. Those are all LeBron
Well,
fans.
I just last thing I'll say on this, 76ers fans, I warn you, not about Bron, but the fans will bring a level of energy into the fandom, into
That's a
your
nice way of saying
spaces,
it.
that might be a little different. I mean, everybody goes through that. You went through that when KD came to the Nets.
Oh,
The KD fans come in. It's like, we got your back, but not really. They really only care about KD. They're
yeah.
not real Nets fans. And but I say this, Philly fans are tough, so they'll be able to handle it. They'll be
The
able to handle
they're the
it.
worst fans on planet Earth. So, back to baseball. Thank you everyone for amusing us as we just talked a bit of other sports, big sports news around the sporting world. Obviously, some sort of little world tournament ended last week too. Don't know what that was about, but I hear some other country other than us won it, so it's not important to me. So, I will also say this: the Dodgers are spending somewhere north of like $100 million to have Kyle Tucker on the team. It was his like $60 million contract plus the um, luxury tax and penalties, repeater tax, all that stuff just from taking on Kyle Tucker's $60 million contract. Um, uh, he has not produced that, even though he homered tonight.
He
Um,
did.
we are recording this on Friday, July 24th. Here's the other thing about Kyle Tucker. Uh, that $100-something million was higher than like 8 teams payroll on opening day.
Yeah.
And if you want to know why there might be a lockout next season, there you have it. So both the players union and the and Major League Baseball are going to fud around and find out, and then we will end up with a strike, unfortunately. Now,
Hating.
back to fantasy baseball. One thing that we had to do because, the team that Anthony and I manage has just been decimated by injuries all season. We were almost out of it. We were like, "Oh my god, we're going to have 2 players on the IL. We're so close." And then Cags went down with a shoulder injury. Now he did pinch hit today. However, we had to make a move, and I made the move. I know we talked about it a couple days ago, you and I, offline.
Mm.
But we had to make a move because I didn't want to lose out on stashing a high upside pitcher just because we didn't know whether Cags was going to hit the IL or not. And then we have Acuna coming back, and I thought I didn't want to also miss out on Acuna getting activated and then making it harder to do the the stashing thing where you only have to drop one player, then you swap your IL players.
Right.
So I picked up Carlos Rodon, dropped Cags. Now the debate was not should we drop Cags, it was should we drop Cags or Chase DeLauder. And I can't help but feel that in this situation, we may have made the right decision because shoulder injury, no joke.
Right.
But I had a similar dilemma in another league. I decided to drop DeLauder instead of Jake Bowers. Did I make the right move?
Is this now? Is the context it matters? Like which league is this? As far
This
as
is a
this the keep forever league, or is it?
this is a 12-team head-to-head categories keep forever league. You get to keep 6, and I can't say that Bowers or DeLauder will work their way into that top 6 based on the rest of my roster.
Hmm. Did you have needs? You had needs that I'm assuming you. This the both of them play outfield. I'm
Mhm.
assuming you were having Jake at one. If you remember when we first had to talk about our issue, I chose Cags.
Yes.
I said we should just keep Cags, but the injury kind of set us up where it was like, hey, like we should let him go.
Yeah.
Like and this isn't a knock on Chase because he's young, but his hot and cold is really that's funny saying that about Cags, but his hot and cold was like really hot, and then it was like bottom of the barrel cold.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me making that argument because Cags was so cold and he had like one small hot stretch, which you called out like it could be just like a hot couple of weeks. But just feel like his numbers also look like it's there. It's just massive luck, massive bad luck that we have with Cags. So actually, I don't think you made the bad choice because that's like the same. They're on the same level, I would say, right
Yeah.
now. Like it's not really bad because what are you losing with what are you potentially losing with Chase? Like the low strikeouts, obviously. Like when he makes like what I mean, like he's gonna make contact.
Good
But
OPS, good batting average.
yeah, what
Not
he's
the
hitting,
not the highest counting stats. I mean, he does have 50 RBIs,
right?
despite missing a couple weeks with that broken whatever he broke rib, I think,
Yeah,
fractured rib.
but
Ah,
but that's
he's
what
just
he's
been
doing because
so
like
good lately. Ugh.
Jake hits the ball hard.
Yeah,
No barrel.
I think
Actually,
Jake's been unlucky, right?
let me see. What is he like?
Coming out of the All Star break, he went something
He
like
got a
0
high
for
BABIP.
15 or something.
Yeah,
I'm
he got a
bringing
high
up his
BABIP.
stats here.
High BABIP, and also like you always say, what's the back of the card say? Most likely it'll end up being
It's not
it's
good.
I do not like it. Like
No.
this man is averaging a 610 OPS or whatever. So it can get ugly real quick. But with Chase, it can get ugly. Now granted, long term, Chase is young. Like I think Chase, the only thing I would say about Chase is like if you have him, if he gets hot, he becomes an asset you can trade. Jake, it might just be like, okay, he was a hot player at the end of the year.
Right.
But honestly, I don't think now is the time Chase is gonna get hot. It could be next year, the year after. So we really hopefully can see Chase break out and something.
You know what's interesting is Bowers, if you look at his WOBA and ex-WOBA, they're 10-point difference, so he's technically overperforming his expected WOBA by 10 points. Very minimal. You're talking, maybe like 2 hits, maybe. It's not much. DeLauder is overperforming his ex-WOBA by 0.005, so half of what Jake Bowers is overperforming by. But here's the interesting thing, and I think why I made this decision. Bauer's ex-WOBA is 356, whereas DeLauder's is 343. So I understand that's not much of a difference, but you are talking a difference there in expected performance of better than average to just slightly better than average. Like,
Mhm,
like Bowers has a higher ceiling according to expected WOBA than DeLauder has. And so I think that's why I made the decision.
mhm,
Um, checking prospect list, checking rankings lists. Bowers was higher,
mhm.
probably because of that WOBA number.
All
Um,
right.
so yeah, I
He
thought
has
that
high,
was like
he
an interesting.
not far. He has a higher WRC plus. His ISO percentage is higher. His ISO is higher.
Yeah,
So it makes sense. I mean, just for the rest of the season. Like I know we always say this is the halfway point, but we're obviously close to the end in the beginning, so
Yeah.
it's like you saw a lot from them. Right now you're trying to catch the heat. You're trying to see who's going to be on that track to like get hot for you at a certain time and to
Yeah.
produce. So
Speaking of getting hot, there are two players, one from my team and one from your team, who you and I last week discussed dropping, that neither one of us can
my,
drop now. We're going to reveal those players when we come back. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Talking Fantasy Baseball podcast. That's Anthony Shabazz. I'm Eric Hendrickson. And just before the break, I teased that there was a player that each of us had discussed with each other last week that we thought, again, offline, we're unable to make the pod. We did, however, go to Fogo de Chao. Very good. We're not going to become a food podcast, I promise. But like we became dangerously close to becoming a Knicks podcast earlier this year. And that's not allowed ever.
distant number one.
Distant number one. It is so far out there. If you're listening just on audio, I put the binoculars up using my hands. So I teased just before the break that there was a player each of us were considering dropping on our teams, but we were like really hesitant to do it based on a draft position, based on ceiling, I would say. But both players had revealed a very low floor so far this year. Anthony, your player was Jackson Merrill, who's been a bit of an enigma this season. Look, when he broke out a couple years ago, he was phenomenal. Then last year he got hurt. And this year he's been not good. So what have you decided over the last week that you're going to do with Jackson Merrill? Because he has been a little en fuego.
Yeah. Well, he decided for me. I forgot what day we went, but the day we went out, I benched him. The next game, 2 home runs. The game after that, 0 for 4, then home run. And now tonight he was 0 for 4 too, but he puts me in a position where I cannot drop him. And for context, this is a keeper league. He's kept in the second to last round for me. So he has value there. So if I drop him, someone can just pick the trash up off the street and say, I'll pocket it just to see what happens. So I'm in a position to just let's see what happens. Now, he's not off the hook. Like I would consider still dropping him because kind of what we went over is like if you look at him, and if JD was here, he would definitely say this. Everything about him seems to have been going down every year. But I hate that I forget where I read this at, but I read an article about it's extreme bad luck with him. Like I wish I can pinpoint where it was at. It was like this is the time to buy. At the time, I was so frustrated with him, I didn't really want to hear any of this. But then obviously he had his weak stretch where he was going at it. The last 2 weeks, 7 runs, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs, 1 steal, 282 average, 939 OPS for 2 full weeks. I would take that in a heartbeat. So
yeah,
I think this is something. This is also somebody that after last year, people was like, "Oh, I don't think he's going to run anymore." Like it was like, "Oh, like he did what he did. Now can 20 stolen bases." It's like
that's
the
career high.
rest of the season, if I get 10 home runs and another 10 stolen bases, I'm at 24 and 30. Now the OPS and the batting average leaves something to be desired. The OPS worries me more, but we'll see. I mean, right now it's like I'm taking him on a 2-week basis. Every 2 weeks I'll reevaluate because I also can't risk going to the playoffs with him hitting his season average if it ends up being that way.
Yeah, no, makes sense. Yeah, Jackson Merrill's been very good lately. If we look at his splits month by month here, July has been a very good month, kind of back on track month for Jackson Merrill. 6 homers, 13 RBI, 12 runs scored, and 2 stolen bases, hitting .274. And that is in 19 games so far this month. That is a 54-point increase in batting average from the last 2 months where he both hit .220. Yeah, so much better so far for Jackson Merrill. Now, the player that and just to say, now you can't drop him. I did suggest that you should drop him just because we're getting to a point in the season where you can't keep holding on. Like you can figure out the keeper situation later, but I understand it's like really hard to have a player with a higher ceiling and drop him and just watch somebody else get that for free.
Yeah.
Get the upswing, even if it's limited, for free. So it can be really tough. And the player that I was really considering letting go, much in the same way, is Austin Riley. Austin Austin Riley, if you haven't heard, has been bad. He's been worse than Jackson Merrill. Okay, because at least Jackson Merrill has 20 stolen bases to give
20
you.
of them things.
Austin Riley doesn't even have 20 combined home runs and stolen bases. So that's how bad Austin Riley's been. Not only that, he's hit, outside the last couple of weeks, he's hit about 200. His batting average has gone up about 15 points over the last 2 weeks. He's been very good lately. He's hitting over 300. He was 2 for 4 today with an RBI. It's really hard to let a guy like Austin Riley go where you've seen the ceiling and now you've seen the floor and it's somewhere in between.
Now, here's the difference. And I agree with you. Like at this point, you have to see now because he's actually hitting pretty well. We'll see. We spoke about this before. His ceiling, though, was at age 20. What was he? 20. This is in 2021. So he was 24, 25, 26. And now we're on like a third season of him being like this guy, right? So we have to see, right? Like what happens with this. Because last year, around this time, Michael Harris was getting hot. Remember, he was awful and he had the hot shot. I picked him up. He had like a hot stretch and it was like, oh, wow, like look at him. But last year, people was like, oh, kind of getting ready to write him off. Like he, whatever. And now look, so it's like, what did you do these last couple of years? What are you showing me? And what he's shown is not great.
No.
But we'll see. Like, because at his peak, he was dangerous with the power. He was still hitting 270 something. I think what's probably his highest average in the years. He had 303. He had 303.
Yeah.
And then he hit that was a 33 home run year. Then he went 273, 281. Yeah. So we're gonna see. Like, but ultimately, he could be just in that 785, 825 OPS range. If he can do that, fine. But he has to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's been really tough to roster this year. But again, he plays third base, and third base is
It's bad.
not a very good position there. So it was really tough to drop him. Also, he was one of my keepers as well. So, man, it's been tough. But Austin Riley has had really good summers before. So it was, I remember you guys told me, both you and JD said, keep him to the All-Star break, see what happens at the All-Star break. Well, he got a little warm before the All-Star break, and since coming out of the All-Star break, he's been warmer. So I have not been able to drop him, and my initial move was going to be drop Austin Riley to activate Ronald Acuna. I am not going to do that because Kyle Harrison went on the IL, so Harrison goes to the injured list and swaps with Acuna on the active part of the roster. Now, the tricky part will be after this, when Kyle Harrison comes back, because I picked up Gabriel Moreno, who's a catcher, who's been fantastic.
And who's your main catcher?
Cal Raleigh.
Who's my main catcher?
Cal Raleigh. If you thought Jackson Merrill and Austin Riley have been bad, then there's 50 feet of crap. Then there's Cal Raleigh's season. He's way down there.
It's pitiful.
It is pitiful. I did not know that you could be on Yahoo ranked 1,103. That means he's ranked behind players that haven't even played in a major league game yet.
It's been awful.
There is not a word to describe how bad he's been.
Pre All-Star, 169 average, a 581 OPS, 9 home it's disgusting. But here's the thing again. Now we both have him as a keeper. if you drop him, someone will pick him up,
Yes.
probably.
Yes.
But here's the thing with him, unlike everybody else, and this is a mistake that we speak about mistakes and how we draft and how we think about things. Coming into the season, we both know, we knew he was not going to repeat what he did last year,
No.
and he was gonna. We were saying 220 average would be great, and if we're talking about a player where we're saying 220 would be great, like you got to be doing Kyle Schwarber numbers when Kyle was hitting 220 or 230, whatever it was, and he was going off, and he's not that. Like he did that obviously last year, but you look at his splits, he had he had some 2 months in there where he was a 767 and 757 OPS, 194 average, 173 average. Like now he was hitting home runs still, but that's what he was doing. So it's like if we drop him, both of us, he might get picked up, but I'm really not worried about it. Like if it gets to the point where we feel like I have to drop him, I feel like you pick him up and it'd be your problem and your mistake for picking him up, because even the best of him will never be last year. That it will
Yeah.
never be last year. Like it's just that was his special year. Like you might get a 30 home run, 220. You know what I mean? Like you gotta think this is a man that hit 34 home runs and had a 748 OPS, right? So he was hitting 220. So I think that's really what he's gonna lie at. So
Yeah, I am again because I kept him. It's really
yeah,
hard to
it's
drop
hard.
him, but you can't start him. You just can't. I mean, he's actively hurting your team. He's ranked once again on Yahoo 1,103. I didn't know that was possible. I thought,
Yeah,
okay, maybe like 599, somewhere in there. 1,000. Oh my God. He's
yeah,
been not good.
he's not good.
Not good.
Gotta bench him. And
Hey,
the tough part,
one thing I haven't done yet today?
um,
The read like this. As a reminder, we release a new episode every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern. So be sure to subscribe so you never miss it. Subscribe to our podcast, please. I'm changing up the order of the show today. This is coming a half hour in, not 2 minutes in. Okay. We're available on more podcast platforms than ever before, including all major ones: Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. And don't forget, we have video on YouTube now as well. So you see our beautiful made for radio faces every show on our YouTube channel, Talking Fantasy Baseball. Please subscribe and leave us a 5-star rating, like a thumbs up, a kind review, and it goes a long way in helping us out if you didn't know that already. If you have a question, leave a comment on the YouTube video and we'll be sure to answer it right here on the pod. And I have a 100% success rate in replying to your comments. So please leave them. But when we say don't add us because there's a reason for it. Anyway, back to business. Cal Raleigh,
awful,
not be good.
awful.
Jackson
Oh,
Merrill might be turning it around. Austin Riley might be turning it around. You know who has shown zero signs of turning it around?
who?
Cal Raleigh.
Oh, I was gonna
Not a trick
say.
question.
I was gonna say. I want to speak about Bo too, because I'm getting
uh,
a little getting sick of him. His
yeah,
outputs.
there's just some total lack of
No,
production. I think you have to wait to do anything with Bo Bichette because he has hit a lot better recently. The production's not there because the Mets are terrible. Okay, but maybe he gets traded. Maybe he gets traded to a better situation. So I would just be a little patient on guys like that. Like Freddie Peralta. Don't drop Freddie Peralta. Wait. You
you
don't
know
have to
what's
wait long.
interesting about this, and we talked about when talks with other sports and things, but it's so frequent in baseball. You see people be studs for a year, for two, and then it's just nothing.
Right.
Like it's just, and it's like this is not like football. You might get somebody that's like they had a good rushing season behind the offensive line. You can explain it.
Yeah.
This is you swinging the bat,
Yeah.
and you are nasty. And like, granted, we don't know the details. Like you made that mention, what if they had a hurt wrist and now they changed the swing a little bit? Like Belly was the MVP, and they came out, and the next season it was it
Yeah.
was it was bad. He changed his swing and things like that happened. But in baseball, you look around, Bo was to the moon around COVID when COVID hit, and now people are like, the man's roster rate is dropping. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even what people were speaking about, like with um also Riley. Like this is the person who was looked upon like this is a top third base option in the Atlanta lineup, and now look at it, it's like off the rails. Baseball is so unique in that way.
Yeah.
Um, they humble you quick.
Yeah, it is. It's a very hard sport to play.
Ricky
You
Gone.
try hitting a ball moving 93 plus miles an hour. That's about yay big, and
Yeah.
uh, spinning, not necessarily going in a straight line, and you have to swing a bat that's not much bigger. It's actually thinner than the ball, and you try hitting it. it's
Yeah.
it's a very hard sport, and
Yeah.
it's so fun. Like the fundamentals for baseball are just they're so hard.
Yeah.
You know, like how you swing a bat, how you throw, how you pitch, how you field a ground ball, your footwork. It's your weight transfer. It's just such a technical game that any little thing goes off, everything can go wrong for you. It's kind of crazy.
But we should also not get into this too deep because it can drag on, but the way that the game is being produced also has to play into this with the hitting. You watch all those Tony Gwynn old videos and P Rose, they always got a solution when you're going through a cold street. They're like trying to figure it out, move up, move back, do this, hit the ball battery. They got something to say. We seen Verlander complain about how people are pitching, and we seen Gary Sheffield, I think it was, complain about the hitting. Like the way they're being taught too is like,
Yeah.
just do this. And are they being taught that art of like, hey, the fundamentals of even how you hit, whatever those would be, taught that way besides just a long ball. Like, hey, this is how you hit. This is how you
Right.
handle it. This you're down 0-2 in the pitch count. Are you gonna fight off? Or how you gonna? I don't know if they're being taught that because it seems like they're just going for the long ball and for the high velocity for pitching. So
Yeah.
all
It's
that
it
stuff is affecting all sports. All sports is affecting.
yeah, like can you cerebrally think the game, right? Like
Right.
this pitcher just threw me a slider outside and a changeup in. It's an 0-2 count. What is coming? You
Yeah.
know, like
When
can
you
are
when
you
you used
thinking
to
about it
like
that way?
when you used to like Juan Soto when he was with the Yankees, do you remember before he got the World Series against against the Guardians, he had that at bat.
Oh
Remember where he
yeah.
hit the? It was like you were like, look, it's so good, and you sent it to me like, look, it's so good. Like he was just kind of dialed in. He was. You don't see that a lot,
Right.
like So
Yeah. Well, definitely missing some of that in the
yeah,
game. Now, I'm going to jump around our rundown here. I didn't give a preview at the beginning of the show what the show was going to be about, but that's okay. We've kind of just talked fantasy baseball and some other things. So that, we fit the name of the show, so that works. I'm going to jump here because we are recording this while games are being played. Uh, let's just talk about two pitchers who have been great. Like, obviously, we know Tarik Skubal is great, but another one who's kind of just been up there and he kind of matched him today, even though they didn't go up against each other. Matched him stat wise. That is Cam Schlittler and Tarik Skubal. Both went 7 innings with 12 strikeouts today. Were they both 7 shutout innings, if I'm not mistaken? Let's double check Skubal. I know Skubal was not. He gave up 1 run, but Schlittler was 7 1/3 shutout innings today against. Oh my God, I'm blanking on the team. I knew it just a second ago. Against the Philadelphia Phillies, Yankees won 1-0. Hey, um, take that, Philly. You can have LeBron all you want. Um, who do you think is better rest of season? Knowing full well that Schlittler may have, I don't think he really has an innings restriction. Um, they may just, he may go 6 innings instead of 7 sometimes going forward.
hmm
Um, and Skubal is probably going to get traded. Uh, who do you think is more valuable rest of season?
Scuba,
Why do you say that?
because he has pitched 90 innings. He has had his. I know he had his injury, and it was like it's an injury, so it's not just like he wasn't doing anything. But I do think like he's going to be fresher towards the end of the season, um, and I just think that matters. Like not just the Cy Youngs, like the experience, but it's like last season I think Cam went 60 innings, 70 innings, maybe. Did 70 innings last season? It's
Yeah, but
like
you got to
so maybe
combine that with the minors.
right. So maybe but I mean like the experience as far as because my thing with this. My thing is not just about you pitching innings. and even any sport, it's like, but now when you're playing against the big boys all season, and like, does that wear your body down? Like, maybe you're not like, it's, oh, his ERA went up. Yeah, sure, it went up, but it's like maybe he's getting fatigued just from that, the instant of playing that much baseball in the majors. So listen, I think Skubal had 90 innings this year. Last year it was like 200. I think he's going to be fresher towards the end. And I think even if he's not fresh, because all these guys probably aren't fresh towards that end, he has the experience savvy to be that he'll be okay. Now look, what evens this out is the trade. The man can end
Mm.
up somewhere where man end up in Cincinnati. Well, he wasn't in
Oh
Cincinnati,
God.
but and now he's at the feet of the stadium. But I think Skubal for sure.
Ah, to be clear, he's definitely not going to end up in Cincinnati, but
Right, exactly,
that was
exactly.
just to make a point. He could end up in a situation that's not ideal for him. Cam Schlittler last year pitched, let's see, between 2025. Oh, he started in double A last year. Totally forgot about that. He threw 76 and 2/3 innings in the minors, 73 in the majors. So that is 149 and 2/3 innings. And then he had 14 and a third in the postseason. So 150,
How about that?
164 innings last year total.
Mhm,
So you figure he could probably go like 175, 180, no problem.
mhm.
It'd be interesting to see though if they're going to factor in possible playoff innings. Well, he's going to have to pitch in the playoffs and
Right.
sort of um curtail the regular season innings. He's already at 123, and that's before the 7 1/3 innings today. So make that 130 and
130.
a
So
third.
130. Let's say the rest of the season he has 8 games left.
No, he's got more than that. He's only at
It's more than
today
8.
was
Oh no,
22
11.
starts.
11. I say 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
11 games left, and let's say he's about 50 innings out of the 175. Oh no, 180,
Yeah.
right? And then they're gonna add on. They're gonna add into playoffs for sure. It's like it's possible that
It,
they like start to play with it.
yeah, it's
This
possible
isn't a
that
talent thing. This is more of a, is it for me? Is it fatigue thing towards the end? And then
mm,
also they're gonna manage that. They're gonna play around. And you're
yeah.
gonna get that Chase Burns treatment from last year. Like, oh my God, the man had a hangnail. They're gonna put him on IL. He's not hurt. They're gonna
He got
sit him in.
popcorn stuck in his teeth. 2 weeks.
Right.
uh, all right,
So
another player to talk about here. I agree with you. By the way, Skubal probably will be better than Schlittler rest of season, but Schlittler's just been so good, and there's not a single fantasy owner who has him on their team who hasn't profited
for sure.
from him. All right, so next up here, I want to talk about Bryce Miller. Bryce Miller was
Mhm.
not good today. 5 1/3 innings against Texas. He gave up 5 earned runs and he had no strikeouts.
The worst. That sucks.
That doesn't help you at all. That literally that whole line is
Right.
is it just hurts. The whole line just hurts. And I'm gonna bring up his performance today because you can find stats like this live on as the games are going on live on Baseball Savant. So it's really cool that I could see exactly what Bryce Miller did. I don't have to wait until the end of the game to see this stuff. He had, ugh, he had no whiffs on his fastball. He had only an 18% called strikes plus whiffs. That's CSW percentage. Ah,
Okay. This is what we do. That is, it sucks about it, but it's generally just based off of how you perform. This is one game. Well, it's not one game because actually, I think through the month of July, we had a couple of games that haven't been. Well, he's not gonna be great all season anyway, but it's been a couple games that has been like okay.
yeah.
You start to get into that mode where you start looking at last season.
Yep. Uh
And
huh.
it's not gonna be that bad, but you're like, ooh, hold on now. Like, were you just fresh and ready to go? And now you had your month or a month and a half of greatness, and now you're starting to fall off because we're talking about 2 years ago when he was super effective.
Yes.
That was an 8K per nine back then. Eight. That's it, 8.5. And then he came in and it's like, oh wow, the strikeouts are out. Like things are looking good. And I think I mentioned this before. I hate to talk about fatigue again, but it's like He hadn't pitched that much this season yet to be like, oh, he's in this form. Like he's physically ahead of some of these people. And now what? Now like what we running into? Because no whiffs at all. And then tonight, what we at now? Oh, I didn't even know he gave up. He gave up the most runs. When we first saw, I think he gave up 2 runs, but now I think he's at 4 or 5.
You gave up 5 runs and 5 and a third.
5 runs, no strikeouts,
none. If you're
what
listening on audio, you can't see Anthony's face. It's hilarious.
Like, it's the worst feeling ever to look at your team and be like, "Yo, you got no strikeouts."
Nick Pollock of Pitcher List likes to say in his recaps, his pitcher recaps, when you have 1 or fewer strikeouts, he likes to say, "How am I supposed to butter my biscuit with that? Butter my bread with that?" Because you can't do. There's zero profit there. You can't do anything with that. That is just plain bad. His fastball velocity down a half mile an hour off his yearly average, but that yearly average has been falling over the last couple weeks. He was averaging 97 on that fastball. Now he's much closer to 95. He was at 95 and a half today. That is problematic. Let's not forget Bryce Miller is pitching with bone spurs in his elbow that he did not get surgery on. It's not good.
Not good.
Not good. All right. Next up here, a guy who I don't know what to do with him. Anthony, he plays for your Dodgers. Roki Sasaki, 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, 1 earned run. But he was bad. I mean, he was good against the Yankees before that, but he was bad then before that, and then he was good before that, and then he was bad all of before that. So what do we do with Roki Sasaki?
I just don't trust Roki enough for fantasy. I mean, I guess you can play matchups if you would like with him. Like in our league, Josh has him, and I know he'll probably hold on to him a little bit now to see what happens.
JD's a big believer in Roki Sasaki.
I just feel like he's young. Like you got to see what happens with him. Like he's not consistent yet.
Oh,
you know, because like you said, the day that we have the group chat, he went 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, no runs, and it was like he's here. Next game, 14 ERA. Next game, no quality start, 4 ERA, 6 ERA, 18 ERA. Like he struggles. You know, like he's gonna have some games like this where it flashes. The Mets are awful right now.
Yes. So take this with a grain of salt.
Right. You know, like he was okay against the Yankees too, but you don't like 5 2/3, 5 strikeouts. No, like that's cool, but that leaves a lot still to be desired. Like it's the Yankees, yes, but still to the point, it's like it's not great. He's going to be inconsistent.
Just to give you a contrast to Bryce Miller, Roki Sasaki had 15 whiffs on his fastball. On his splitter tonight. Just 2 on the fastball. A 36% called strike plus whiff percentage. Overall, 4 whiffs on the slider. Now, he's a 3-pitch pitcher. For him, that's okay because he has a hard time throwing strikes to begin with. Long term, he's going to need more pitches than 3 because they're not 3 elite pitches. They're just not. He did, however, average 98.6 on the fastball today. He did touch 100 miles an hour one time. And I know that was a big deal in his start against the Yankees where he threw 11 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. And he had never done that before. I think he had 400-mile-an-hour fastballs his entire career before that. So the velocity is the thing. Even after the game against the Yankees, he came out and said, yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that again or how sustainable that is.
Right.
Yeah.
For fantasy purposes, I don't think it's something you could just bank on. Like even if you believe in this breakout and you're in the keeper league, you keep him and you hold him, right? But for the rest of this season, which is what I think most people are probably dealing with, it's like you need to be very careful with him because he can blow up your ERA. He can blow up your ratios really quick.
Yes.
Right. Because when he goes down, he goes down. It's like get up.
I think that's the mark of what makes a great fantasy pitcher is, and I'm not talking about the top 10, the aces of the aces. I'm talking about the ones that are 11 to 30. The ones that can really help round out your rotation are the guys who don't have that many blowups. Now, obviously, that makes them better starters, but you can not have a ton of blowups and still have a 4.5 ERA. You go 6 innings with 3 earned runs every time. I think what makes a really good fantasy starter is the ability to not have the 5 1/3 3 earned runs. It's 5 1/3 2 earned runs. Like that little difference makes a world of difference. And it's the ability to also hit 6 innings more often than other guys would. Now, I realize innings are being, cut down for starting pitching. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're not going to go 6 and you're only going to go 5 1/3, 5 2/3, you play in wins leagues, not necessarily quality starts leagues. So you're just looking for a guy to get a W. You want the guy who's going to give up 2 earned runs in that situation, not 3. And that will make a world of difference in your team. And then you
But
hopefully have elite strikeout guys.
yeah, I also enjoy the guy who gives up four runs in the first 2 innings, and you look back and he done went 7 and struck out 8. Like the fight back, like
Yeah.
it's like even those guys is like, oh, okay, all right, obviously I won't get a quality start, but you brought the ratio down a little bit and gave me strikeouts. Like,
Yeah.
and sometimes these guys get lost when they start getting tagged, and that happens.
Right.
But like you said, you want that guy that's giving up 2 instead of 3, because you
Right.
can give up 3 over 6. It ends up being, what's the ERA? 4?
4.5.
Is that 4.5? Yeah, right. You can do that complete season, and we would look at 4 or 5 like, a little bit high, but that will be something that's solid.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Think about this, put it in context. You can make 30, 32 starts in a season or whatever and have a 4.5 ERA. If I just gave you that context right there, you'd be like, no, I'm not really
Mhm.
interested in that player. Now, what if I told you that player had 32 quality starts?
Right, right,
That means they
right.
gave up 3 earned runs or less in every single game. I mean, it's
Yeah.
that's baseball. Honestly,
No,
that's
for sure.
baseball.
For sure.
Yeah. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. So, any other performances stick out to you from today or maybe the last couple days? I'm looking at my rosters here. I streamed Shane Drowan of the Brewers. He gave up more than 3 earned runs for like the first time since the middle of June. So that was great. Naturally, of course, because I picked him up to start him this week in place of an injured Max Meyer, who
Well, yeah, something sticks
couldn't
out to me
stay
because I mentioned it
healthy.
to you. I mentioned it to you before we started this podcast. Noah Cameron,
Oh yeah.
7 innings, 8 strikeouts, no quality start. I said, what happened? Not the starter. Is that it? I didn't confirm if that really happened, but I'm assuming that is what we're talking about.
Let's look it up real quick. That is
Yeah.
frustrating. That's
'Cause When
extremely
you
frustrating.
said that, I was like, what happened? But you're right. He came in after the fact.
He had 17 swinging strikes today, Noah Cameron, only to be outdone by his counterpart on the other side, Tarik Skubal.
It's like, my question is like, when you are Noah Cameron and like you do that and you lose, are you allowed to be upset when your previous game you gave up 12 ERA and then you had a 6 ERA? Then
No.
you like, are you? It's just like, shh, be quiet. Like,
You're lucky
don't
you're still
complain.
getting bulk innings at this point.
Don't
Um,
complain.
there was an opener. His name was Beck Way. Never heard of him. Gotta be honest with you. No interest. Plays for the Royals. Not a starting pitcher. A opener. Used there. Beck Way. But yeah, no. Noah Cameron was really good today. I feel like he's alternated a lot of like good and like really good and really bad. There's no middle ground for Noah Cameron
Right.
so far this season. Uh, I'm not interested in him off the wire. Are you?
No, not at all.
No. Yeah. Too much.
You can't trust the blow up guys.
Right.
Like, you give me the 4 or 5, okay, cool. But I don't trust blow up guys. And he hasn't had a quality start since June 7th, it says.
Ugh.
So we're talking about now, you're not even going to be going deep. And it's already crazy with the innings limits on some of these guys. Not limits, but as far as keeping them in the game. So you're only really getting the strikeouts from him, and or the ratio of the K per nine, because the whips. Listen to this. Listen to the whip. Listen to the whips. I'm gonna just start. I'm gonna do them dirty. I'm gonna start from the last one you had a quality start. 162 whip, 2 whip, 2.2 whip, 3.27 whip, 2.2 2.2 whip, 1 whip, 2.2 whip. Then tonight, 0.70.
Ew.
It's bad. He had he for the whole month last month. He had a 2.03 whip. this is
That's
this is
bad.
diabolical, man. Like you can't pick him up and start him. Somebody got lucky starting him whenever they did today. Great, happy for you, but you can't just be banking on this.
No. Also, he didn't even he didn't start. And I understand there's we play in a lot of quality start leagues, not so many wins leagues, but I man, the opener, I don't like it. It ruins the quality start, first of all, because you can't get one.
Right.
Um, and then like wins, wins are an arbitrary category to begin with. Normally, the rule of thumb is the pitcher of record, or the pitcher who's eligible for the win, was the guy who was technically on the mound when your team took the lead. However, the win is usually not given. Let's say the opener was on the mound when the team took the lead. You need to get to the fifth inning and complete the fifth inning. So I feel like I don't know. I don't
Mhm.
like it. I do not like it.
Yeah. One positive thing about Noah though is Ali is he's had 3 games this season where he's went like shutout, like
Yeah,
6 with 8 strikeouts, 6 or
here
7 strikeouts,
or
and then
here. You
7
can't
or
even
eight.
see my hand in the frame. It's like
Yep,
he's either
it's all the way down there. Yep, you're
yeah.
right, all the way down there.
Someone who's actually been kind of interesting a little bit over the last couple weeks is Salvador Perez. Maybe
Mhm.
he's coming back from the dead. From he's been pretty good lately. I
He's
wonder if
getting
you need
old.
help at catcher and Salvi was dropped in your league
Mhm.
and you're choosing between Gabriel Moreno. This was not my choice. I'm just
Yep.
picking to hot bat off the wire for catcher, Gabriel Moreno,
Mhm.
or Sal Perez. Who
Yep.
are you picking up? Because we've had in the last week Kyle Teal, Adley Rushman, Samuel Basayo all go down as catchers with injuries.
Mhm.
Um, who are you picking up? Salvi? Are you picking up Gabriel Moreno?
I'm picking up Gabriel Moreno in a heartbeat. Sal, historically, fantasy wise for us, great. Last week, we somehow, oh man, he's been looking really good. I see people running to pick him up. 5 runs, 3 home runs, 6 RBI, 950 OPS, 208 average.
Ooh,
Listen, I'm
it's
already
all
struggling with
homers.
the average. Yeah, I'm already struggling with the average, my friend. I keep your homers. If you gonna give me 208, oh, I'm sorry, but last 2 weeks, the 5, 3, 7, 8, 17 OPS, 206 average. I don't got time for that. I got no time in the world for that. Like, and it's just based off of my team. Like the way my team right now is operating, um, I need more average. I need some power, but I need some average. And I'd rather take the 1 home run in the last month of Gabe Moreno with what he's bringing in the other categories with the runs. He has 11 runs in the last 2 weeks. 11 runs. And hitting 405 in the last two
Check out his
weeks.
Statcast page.
Yeah.
It's really good. Carson and I talked about that on the Shallows this week.
Mhm,
Gabriel Moreno's been quietly excellent. The
mhm,
counting stats aren't huge, but if you are rostering Cal Raleigh and you need to bench him, or if you had Rutschman or Basayo or Kyle Teal, or you have Sal Perez, consider Gabriel Moreno. He's been fantastic. Um, you know who hasn't homered since? Actually, you know what? Yeah, you know who hasn't homered since the All Star break?
cool.
He homered a lot during the All Star break.
Oh, okay. Let's get into this. Okay, so I'm a Joe Marco.
Yep.
Okay.
Look, watching him in the home run derby, he was great. Okay, his swing so effortless. I don't think he's tired or anything like that. The man is what 24, 23.
Mhm.
Okay, uh, I think he's fine. Like, don't panic. He's had stretches like this in the season, and then he comes back and he just goes off. So, like,
Right.
don't panic. But let's talk about this, Ant. What did you think about the home run derby in general? Because I don't think we've had an episode since the All Star break.
No, it was. I'm be honest with you. Like I know everybody keeps talking about the changes. Like every year we change some rules and things. I just tend to always enjoy the home run derby. Like it's just something cool to do during the summer with watching for baseball. So I don't ever have an issue with it. This one was pretty cool though because we were texting back and forth, and I was like, I found myself. It's like that saying where they're like throw a quarter in the air and then you'll know which way you want to land. I found myself rooting for Kyle at certain points because I didn't think Jordan would make it to the finals.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, like he's young, he's about to make. And then when he started going, I was like, whoa, this is. And I think you text and was like, look at that swing.
It's
Slowly,
beautiful.
look at that swing. I was like, wow, this boy is. And you won't forget he's 6'6", 250. It's a big boy. Um, but it was entertaining. I enjoyed it. And also, I know you always say thing about the tire. I always think that the home run derby zap some of these zap these guys. I would like to know what the stats are on that, like
Yeah.
people who participate and actually get through multiple rounds. Not it can't really be a thing because these people are top flight athletes. So
Right.
after they get some rest, they're fine. Got to be, but I don't know why it's like always that like fan myth behind it because I feel the same way. Like, man, I hate when my guys are in the home run derby.
I'm maybe with the clock when they were trying to get as many swings in as possible,
Hmm.
but I like this swing limit thing.
Hmm.
And it's not like guys were just taking pitch after pitch after pitch after pitch. They weren't. They were
Hmm.
like Jordan Walker, I think, took the most pitches in that last round, which was understandable and it was fine because he took two and then he would swing and hit a home run. He took two, swing and hit a home run. So he was just waiting. He was just biding his time and then would swing. Uh, the way this used to happen when you had the outs limit is guys would take like 5, 6 pitches if it wasn't perfect. But I like this swings. I like this format. I thought
Hmm.
it was awesome. I loved how it was so close. Also, um, and there was just so much drama. Really, it was really exciting. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. So,
Did you have a problem with it last year though? Did you have a problem with the constant swings?
I didn't have a problem with that. I just know that the rule was that the ball had to land before another pitch could be thrown, and nobody did that. Like
Yeah.
nobody paid attention to that. They were literally trying to swing like 40 times, 50 times in 3 minutes, and
Right.
that can weigh you down and get you tired. But
Yeah.
this format, I don't think so. This was great. I loved this. This was phenomenal.
Nice.
Did you watch the All Star game at all?
No, I did not.
I did not
I, wa-
either.
I watched some, not the full game. I watched like some highlights of it. I didn't really watch it. I was getting updated from Josh, and he was sending us the updates from it.
Yeah.
And I was realizing, okay, but I wasn't watching the whole thing.
Josh was very mad at some of the players that were on the All Star teams because of injuries to players that should be All Stars.
Right.
Like Sadan Rafaela
Right.
was an All Star. This guy who I don't know has played maybe like 50 professional games for the White Sox
Oh,
was an All
right.
Star. Tristan
We
Peters, I
spoke about
think.
that. We spoke about that. Yeah.
Who? What? Why?
Yeah.
You're telling me in the American League there wasn't another outfielder?
Right. Had to be.
Pitiful. Anyway. I thoroughly enjoyed the home run derby. I've thoroughly enjoyed this episode, way less structured than our usual less structure.
True.
um, if you could make an analogy of how our show is typically structured, normally we are made out of like clay. We mold and we can just change as we go. Today we are made of straw. Blow on it, falls apart. But this is a good one. See, nobody even knows, unless you've made it to this point in the episode, nobody knows that we planned on picking apart a team from one of our leagues and just analyzing it and how it could get better. We're going to save that for a future show, especially as we approach the trade deadline here in the next couple of weeks, as the fantasy trade deadline is fast approaching and the real baseball trade deadline is also very, very quickly approaching as well. So we're going to wrap it up right there. Actually, you know what? I'll just ask you real quick before we do that. What are you looking forward to next week?
Hmm. Interesting. You know what? I'm gonna stick with Jackson on this. Since he's on his probation period. Interested to see if he could actually string because he had a couple of not want to say hot stretches. He had some good games early in the season. I felt like every time I put him in, he was on the bench. When I put him in, he was homering, he's feeling good. And then he went through like the whole stretch of like not being effective. I wanted to see if he's going to keep up some semblance of just effectiveness. I'm not asking for 300-400, just something where it's like you can take the bat and the thing that they throw and it comes by you, you can hit it and it can roll on the green grass and be a single. That's all I'm trying to see if he can continue to do that.
Just be a competent Major League Baseball player.
Yes, you are top. These people, these people are the top. Do you see the stat where it was like, if you take all the MLB players, they wouldn't fill up a stadium or something like that?
Oh yeah.
Like you guys are the top in the world. The world. Hit the ball.
I am looking forward to the return of Ronald Acuna. It doesn't, we thought he was going to be activated this weekend, but his last rehab game was supposed to be today. It got rained out, and now there's a doubleheader tomorrow for the Braves AAA affiliate, and he's supposed to play in those games. I don't know why they don't just activate him. This is so dumb. But he's going to play in the doubleheader tomorrow, probably get the off day on Sunday and activated Monday. So my panic in stashing Carlos Rodon and losing Jack Caglione seems now premature. But I am looking forward to the return of one Ronald Acuna Jr. because how can you not? We got J-Ram back this week, literally out of nowhere. Totally missed that he was activated. So I'm excited to see Ronald back as well. So we're getting 2 top 10 players back from injury this week. Very exciting. Yes. So we're going to wrap it up right there. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode structured with clay, not straw. And to make sure you don't miss it or any episode for that matter, please subscribe. We're available wherever you get your podcast. And if you missed the read in the middle of the show, go back. It's around the 30-minute mark. For Anthony Skubal, I'm Erik Henriksen saying, see you next time.